This one is interesting, me boy. It's Ian Garry taking on Neil Magny, who is stepping up on basically a week's notice. Kudos to Neil Magny, a guy who is always down to fight any single time you call him, and he's stepping up in this one. And originally, it was supposed to be Jeff Neal taking on Ian Garry, and that was a fight I was very much looking forward to because Jeff Neal is the top of the top in this 170 division, and while Neil Magny is always a tough levels test guy, he does tend to lose to those dudes in the top five, right? I mean, pretty recently, at least against Gilbert Burns, got submitted easy work in the first round, and Shavkat did the same thing to him in the second round. So if Ian Garry is as good as a lot of people believe he is, and as good as he definitely believes he is, then this probably wouldn't look much different than the Shavkat or Gilbert Burns contest looked against Neil Magny. But Neil Magny, when you're facing against a guy who isn't in the top five necessarily, like the Phil Rose, the D-Rods, the Max Griffins, he's going to beat you. So where do you think in this one Ian Garry ranks? Is he a top five guy? Is he one or two fights away from fighting for a belt in a division that's very difficult to win one in? Or is Neil Magny going to humble him and sort of send him packing a little bit? Who are you taking?
Yeah, this is a very fun fight, fun matchup, but man, the disrespect to Neil, man. Oh, it's like, Neil Magny is an absolute gatekeeper. And, I think the last time I said if Ian Garry wins, I'm going to be on the hype train. I decided to jump off early. I think Neil Magny's going to get the upset. With these kind of odds, I can't not take Neil in this. A lot of unknown. We still haven't even seen Ian grapple. Magny's been ragdolling fools, so I think this kind of going a certain way, and I think Magny's going to get him to the ground, submit him, TKO him on the ground and pound, most likely submission. No one's seen Ian Garry's grapple yet, so I do not have much faith in it, but once I see it, I'll reevaluate. But as of right now, I gotta take the dog in this. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I think it's a good point in the sense that you're right, we haven't yet seen Ian Garry tested by a guy who, one, is able and trying to get the fight to the mat, and a dude who's down to just like really close distance and clinch up and make it ugly and gritty like Neil Magny always does. Because I gotta imagine that Neil Magny's probably not going to be trying to have a striking affair with space against Ian Garry, because Ian Garry is just on next level speed, next level precision, just a seriously dialed striker. I mean, that finish he got over Song Kanan was absolutely beautiful in a fight that he got rocked in the first minute and then made the requisite adjustments, came back and then got the finish himself. So he's very clever. I mean, that head kick he got against D-Rod most recently, he's like, I saw the opening and boom, just one-shot KO, Leon Edwards style. So I think that on the feet, it's going to be bad news if Neil Magny tries to play that game. But to your point, I mean, this guy's the ultimate gatekeeper, a very smart, intelligent fighter. So if he makes it gritty and ugly against the future, then perhaps the present does become the past. But do you think that Magny is likely to get a finish in this one? Or if you're taking Magny where you're already getting plus 370 juicy beef, are you just going to roll money line?
Yeah, no. If this, I don't know. That's a good question. I think I would take money line, but I don't know. A little hesitant. Um, I do like Magny by decision or submission. Those are props I do like a lot, and I think they're gonna pay nicely. But I do like also Magny in a parlay on straight up lines too. I don't know. This is gonna be a very fun fight. I just don't. I just don't think Ian Garry is the one. I don't think he's the one to break past that barrier just yet. I mean, he's very young, he's skillful, but I mean, we're talking Neil Magny here. Come on.
Yeah, Neil Magny's no joke. I mean, we are never one to disrespect Neil Magny, even when others in this sphere definitely like to. But I don't know, Meat Boy. I'm kind of seeing it in the sense that this might just be another step in the right direction for Ian Garry, because I wasn't really bought in initially either. But, like, for instance, specifically that fight against Jordan Williams, he got the first round finish. It was easy work, but I don't know. I wasn't yet sold as of that moment. But that was in November of 21, and we're already in August of 23 now. And just the 2-year progression that Ian Garry has demonstrated, coupled with the fact that the dude's mindset, I mean, he speaks like he's Connor. He waltzes around like he's Chael. I mean, the dude has a lot of self-belief, and that can really get you pretty far. So in this one, I think that he's going to get through Neil Magny, and I'm not sure it's going to be easy. I do think that Magny, I mean, the guy has wins over Leach. He beat Jeff Neal. He'll have a 5-inch reach advantage. So there are some things that will present some difficulties for Ian Garry. But if Ian Garry is as good as he is selling himself to be, then I'm going to keep riding it. But minus 485 is absolutely insane. Like you started this off, absolutely disrespectful for a guy as talented as Neil Magny. So I'll likely be staying far away from it. Maybe check out like an Ian Garry round 3 KO or something, like where most people will be anticipating, oh, if Ian Garry gets this done, perhaps it's light, easy work. But maybe it's a grueling fight. He digs deep and gets a late finish. I don't know. Maybe you're just getting creative. But the pick for Meat Boys, Ian Garry, don't love the odds, however. You know what thoughts?
No, yeah, the odds are absolutely horrendous, but for Magny, they're looking juicy. So throw in the comments, you taking Magny, the juicy odds, or Ian Garry, the absurd?